All right, we're just kind of concluding our thoughts here on 39. Ultimately, chapter 39 is focused on the amazing picture of animals. I'm thinking of the Garden of Eden. I think this is somewhere we're going to return to one day. I prefer being outside in nature. Yes, I like my video games, but sometimes, a lot of people are saying, "Go touch go touch grass, bro." Some playing video games, you hurt your back sitting there for more than 2 hours. Like you got to go outside and throw a ball around or something, or do some lawn work and hurt your back even worse, or get poison ivy, of course. You just feel better being outside getting poison ivy. It's the sunlight, really. So anyway, when we get back to the Garden of Eden, there's going to be no more poison ivy. I'll be invulnerable to that, thank God. But anyway, this chapter is a picture of how amazing God's creation is, and how amazing animals are, and how they work, and how they interact with the environment that God created. And it's a colorful, amazing, beautiful picture. Acknowledging God, really. So anyway, last time we were talking about the Smithsonian, how they like to hide giant bones. You'll see this with, there's all kinds of research. They've talked about this. You can look at ancient, it's not even ancient, like newspaper clippings from like 300, 200 years ago, 400 years ago. They still have newspaper clippings of fantastic things, descriptions of like anacondas, 200 feet long that Spanish people killed, dinosaurs, dragons. Where'd they all go? I think they slowly died off. I don't think they had enough food. I think the ecosystem changed a lot after the flood. That's why this is a point that the evolutionists and the atheists like to bring up, and to point the finger at Christians and think we're all stupid because, where do the dinosaurs fit on that boat, Alex? Ha, 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 ha. It's pretty obvious. If God was allowing people to live to be 1,000 years old, and people were becoming complete, I want to use a word that you can't use on YouTube, but it's obvious. There was a South Park episode regarding bikers that I would use. Everybody was becoming a biker before the flood, and since everybody was like before the flood, except Noah. Noah was like a normal guy. It's like, I'm gonna build a boat. He built a boat for like 100 years or something. He got that boat ready, and then you got millions of people living to be 1,000 years old, 500 years old. They're just running around reproducing and murdering each other and going. And God said, I don't like these bikers. And that's what happened. And so the flood happened, and God realized that I can't let these people live to be 1,000, because those people that are living to be 1,000, they become the biggest a-holes, and they influence so much. Imagine a complete jerk reproducing for, how many times could you get women pregnant? It's, the numbers are very obvious that would be a negative influence on society for one jerk to have sex that many times and to produce that many children. There's a problem there. So anyway, with these words like satyrs, dragons, unicorn, especially dragons. I mean, well, I think satyrs and unicorns are probably still here. They're probably down deep in the depths, in the Underdark, Menzoberranzan. I bet that city actually does exist. But anyway, dragons. How do you change the lifespan of a humanoid? If a humanoid is living to be 1,000, how do you get them to live to only 120? And then we bring it down to 80 with cancer and chemicals, because we can't have people living to 120. The Satanists figured that out. They were like, no, that would be bad. So they got us living to, my generation's probably not, we're going to be lucky to make it 60, blessed, I mean. Yeah, that would be a miracle if I make it to 60. So I'm not too concerned about retirement and those kind of things. But anyway, how do you bring it down? How did God do it? How did he do it? It's pretty clear. If you go back to Genesis, when it talks about a shielding of ice that was shielding the earth before the flood, there was no rain. No rain! What? There was no rain. There was no rain before the flood. There was a mist that came out of the ground. And that mist it probably smelled like really good stuff, or it was at least healthy for you. And that watered the ground. So it was some kind of ecosystem. It was probably a jungle type environment that existed everywhere in the earth. So if you have a jungle-like environment with all kinds of snake monsters and dinosaurs and big things in a oxygen-rich environment, probably much bigger trees and plant life. It's an environment, oxygen-rich. There's a lot of research about this oxygen-rich therapy. So if you have that everywhere, and then you have a ice shield covering the whole earth before the flood, after the flood, the shield was broken, and that caused the first rainfall. So you lose your shield. What did the shield do? It was probably eliminating cancerous elements out of the radiation coming from the sun. That's what I would guess. You can listen to much more scientific people like Kent Hovind, although he wouldn't call himself that, and a lot of people hate him. Kent Hovind is great to listen to, or Dr. Ruckman, lots of different people. Anyway, you take away that shielding so that the sun has less of a regenerative effect on you, and then you take away the oxygen-rich environment because of all the flooding probably changed the world's environment quite a bit with all the additional water. I don't know how that would affect it, but anyway, that's how you do it. Take away the oxygen-rich environment because all that giant stuff got wiped out, and then you take away that shielding over the earth. That brings down man's lifespan to 120. So then, if you don't have the oxygen-rich environment, you've eliminated that jungle environment everywhere where mist came out from underneath. How is that going to affect the animal life? Like dragons, or just very big reptiles. That's what most people think with the dragon mythology, is they're just very old reptiles that ate and ate and ate, just ate food all day. If you had that jungle environment with mist coming out, you could just sit there and eat all day, and they would grow to be this big monstrous dragon type monsters, dinosaurs. But we can't have something amazing or fantastic like that. Unicorns, satyrs, dragons, they don't want that because it competes with the evolution narrative. And they attempt to mock the King James Bible. That's why. Thank you. Goodbye.